Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. I like this background better, I think. Or this. I had that for a long time. Or this. Or that one. I used that one for a long time. Kind of like a red satin. But, and then there's that one down under. This one, it's been built up too much. And this one, it moves. It kind of makes me feel like I'm on that stuff. See how it's flowing? Right. I'll go back to this one. It is very conservative. Kind of, I like that one. All right. By the way, you guys, I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. Let me see who was here first. Southern Belle. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Southern Belle, and I really do appreciate it. And let me see. If you didn't have any luck watching the members only video earlier, it is not members only now, so you can access it anytime you choose. Okay. Okay, so I'll say hi to you guys as I go along. Let's try to stick to the 1 hour. We almost did it yesterday. Okay. Oh, you know what? I didn't bring the slides up. Duh. Everything works better when I have the slides. Okay, slides are coming. Let's see. Hello, Carmen. Emma D. YND. Thank you for being here. Mary H. Lavender. Oh, really? I've been sick in the hospital, but doing better. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. It's kind of, I don't know if it's summer where you are, but it's kind of particularly bad to be in the hospital during the summer, especially if you got a nice view and everybody's going about their business. And I'm just like, well, I pray you feel better. Okay, slides are up. He's back. Look at Omid Scobie. He is buffed and primed for battle. I want to say it was around this time, I guess 2023, we were anticipating the Endgame book, not knowing what a whopper it was going to be. And even though it seemed like that book caused a great deal of hardship for the royal family, much deserved, of course, I don't think it had enough sting to it. And I'm sure a lot of people are like wondering, where's the beef? I don't think that was stinging enough. Next time you decide to, make examples of them, please ask me first. Get my idea of what it would take. I want to tell a story about them too. Master Runner, thank you so much for being here. Sharon Skinner, lovely, thank you for being here. Okay. All right, let's get on with it. So, congratulations to the Duchess of Sussex. That is Duchess, no, let me get it right. Meghan Sussex, because she wants to have a name that identifies with her children. So for now, it is Meghan Sussex, but she is still the Duchess of Sussex. Well, that is my reimagined version of London. London, as it should be. Lots of 14.5 proof rosé for everyone. And I'm sure that they would pass laws that help real people. Yeah, that's all they've been needing that for years. Just a little rosé. Not too much. Not too much. They tried to make me go to rehab, and I said no, no, no. Okay. Napa Valley Rosé. I just love that color. That bottle is beautiful. The way the light plays on it, I think it's minimal and gorgeous. Just like the Duchess of Sussex, she plays it real safe, very minimal. But yet she has so much to say. Whatever she wears, I'm telling you, it is magazines. Well, they're online, most of them now. They're lined up, hoping that they could somehow cash in on the momentum that is Meghan. Hello, Edie. So again, congratulations, 10,000 bottles in 10 minutes. I wonder if that is a Guinness Book of Records record. Seemed like it should be, but who knows until they can verify that or duplicate that. But yeah. Okay. Beautiful. And of course, we are in our season of joy. You guys, let's join the Duchess in our season of joy. Yes, what happened with the charity happened, but we cannot carry that weight around every place we go. We just cannot do that and exist at the same time. So while we are not going to ignore or forget, please try to do something constructive so we don't, carry that heavy burden. Because a lot of times, and I always say you should not be more angry than the people that are directly affected. And I'm reasonably certain that, that this has been a emotional setback for some. And I don't think it's been a big payday for others because they okay, I don't want to talk about that right now. But let this be our season of joy, and we will follow Harry and Meghan's lead. Is that fair? That's what I intend to do. Let's follow their lead. Claire Kane. Hey guys, Claire here. Oh my goodness, Claire Kane. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey guys, Claire here. I love saying that. That is like my other favorite. You know what my favorite is? Hello, Ivy here. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. But remember, we are in our season of joy. So, what God has put together, let no fake doctor tear it asunder. Okay? We are in our season of joy, and this summer's not even over with yet. So, get in those last summer festivals if you can, and make it do what it do. Okay? All right. So the hate campaign, that was the video that I made earlier. Isn't that the coolest thumbnail? I put that together myself. I had like this stroke of inspiration, and I just kind of found that my little pretty picture of Kate, and I'm just like, oh, that'll do just fine. That will do just fine. And so for that reason, I made it do what it do. And Oh man. Anyway, I have too much fun doing this stuff. It is the creative parts that carry me. It really is. Having a chance to just kind of like, you know, fool around with stuff and let my imagination run away with me. But no, that is not AI at all. That is just a whole bunch of cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste. Speaking of cut and paste, I am going to pin a Sussex friendly channel at the top of the chat. And if you love to hear, hey guys, Claire here, as much as I do, then that is the place to go to find it. Okay, it's right there at the top of the chat. Okay, so this is from July the 18th, 2024, right? When my next book project was announced in March, I said it was the start of something very special. And here's another reason why I'm beyond excited to share that Universal TV have acquired the rights to Royal Spin, and we are turning it into a show. Yes, they are turning it into a show. Well, I think we're another step closer, right? We're taking a big step closer to the reality of that. Now, you guys, it takes a lot to pitch a show and to actually get it on television, especially now when the treasury of some of these big media giants, well, they're not making the profits that they used to. So, really, anybody who's making money nowadays, they're doing good because there is just so much vying for the attention of the viewers. Like, for instance, could you imagine if there was like a group of, I don't know, let's say 412 people that spent their Friday night listening to the most obnoxious water sipping, chair squeaking, laughing spontaneously like he's been hanging around Kate Middleton. Um, I couldn't imagine that 414 people would spend their Friday evening looking at recycled thumbnails and stale jokes. Who would do that to themselves? Who would punish themselves like that? Well, I'll tell you who. Fancy, Wise Word, Edie's, Hazel Jones. Let me see here. Mama Jane. That's who would torture themselves like that. And if you're hanging out here with me, then you're not watching legacy television, are you? That's how tight things are. So to get the go ahead, the okay, to have something in development, even if it doesn't work out, look at how far, look at how far he's gotten, right? Now, I pray it does. And I hope that there's no, well, shall we say, sensitive humor that might prove a problem for the squad. Let's hope it does not come to that because we have put a lot of faith in that young man. And, well, we really just hope the best um, for everyone, especially people who are like minded. Okay. So, also, I kind of went through my archive and I found some of the headlines and magazine head covers or whatever, the little headlines and such for articles about our very intrepid Omid Scobie. Yes, he has been a nuisance to that institution for a while. And they're just about sick of him. Do you hear me? Sick! They're sick of him. They are absolutely sick of him. So there you go. Emily in Paris and Red, White, and Royal Blue fans, don't miss Royal Spin. See the cover. The novel is a fish out of water workplace comedy set in Palace, perfect for fans of Veep and Emily in Paris. Now, what do you need to know about it? Royal Spin brings love, drama, laughs, overseas when a White House employee takes a position at Buckingham Palace. Now, what kind of self respecting Yankee would do such a thing? Well, somebody who doesn't have much self respect. Jason Knopf. But trust me, this is nothing about somebody as treacherous as that. The novel is a collaboration between royal biographer Omid Scobie and the National Book Award winner Robin Benway. Royal Spin is also in development to become a TV series. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Um, a new royal political tale is on the way, filled with drama, love, and laughs. Now, see, that laugh, that is the interesting part because there are going to be a lot of people watching this very closely to see if they're in any way presenting a slight to members of the royal family. So that is something we're all going to do. We're going to look for parallel storylines in real life, and that's what's going to make it so much fun. Royal Spin, billed as a fish out of water workplace comedy by his publisher, sees an American swap her position working at the White House for a new gig at Buckingham Palace. Well, we know stuff like that happens all the time. Where she where she contends with duty, loyalty, and love. The novel, a collaboration between journalist and royal biographer Omid Scobie and National Book Award winner Robin Benway, is also in development to become a TV series. So again, it sounds like a lot of fun. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Hey, Legs, thank you so much for joining us. Sonia Johnson, glad you're here. Okay, now where am I here? Mm-hmm. No. Ooh. Oh, I'm so sorry. I lost my place there. Where did I leave off? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Where the heck did I leave off? Okay, I got that. Oh, all right. I see. The novel follows Lauren in her new job among English royalty, building her career and possibly finding a romance with a royal reporter. Ugh, ugh. Now, see, I was going to watch it until I heard that. There's nothing romantic about a royal reporter. They're all kind of having body dysphoria issues and they have just broke up or divorced their husbands. They what else do they have? Oh, they are a lot of them look like ladies of comfortable shoes, if you know what I mean. Like they wear a lot of plaid shirts and carry a tool belt. They kind of all start to look like that, if you know. Anyway, I'm sure that they'll try to do something to make it interesting and engaging, but I just don't want to think of, oh, let me see, who's a royal reporter? Um, well, anyway, I don't want to see that. Yeah, it needs to be a fantasy. We don't want to see. Ugh, could you imagine some of those royal reporters falling in love? I hope none of the characters are based on. Oh, now you know what? You know what? I just had a vision. What if, stay with me now, I want to show you how bad this could be. I don't think it's going to come to that because they really want people to watch it. And they're going to test the script with a audience to um, see what people are triggered by and what they gravitate toward. But what if somewhere in the series, some old hen, a hen that is, some old hen from the post-war England, what if some um, juvenile delinquent that somehow became a writer, um, someone who wears like a little mushroom wig. You know what I'm saying? That little. What if she falls in love, huh? What if she falls in love? Then this would make sense. You know what I'm saying? That would make sense. That she's puckering up and putting all that lipstick on. That would make sense. I hope that they don't cast any character that looks remotely like this unless they're parking cars or trimming hedges or washing. No, we don't want her touching the dishes. Some of them might come up missing. But ugh, you know what I'm saying? Don't cast any character inspired by this spot of bother. I'm thinking of another character that I do not want to see. Um, First of all, they are amazing in Hollywood when it comes to wigs, right? They know their business. You know what I'm saying? They know what they're doing in Hollywood when it comes to a wig. So I think that this next person would not qualify just based upon that. I mean, how would that be remotely believable? Um, Let me see. I mean, the wigs are bad. She sounds like some old boxer that took a shot to the larynx. You know what I mean? So you, I don't think it would be believable to allow her to be the heroine. Let me see. How come I cannot find her right now? Maybe I should stop talking so much and just find it. Okay, this works. No, I don't see her. Well, you know what? You guys have been spared. You have been spared because it's at that hour. I don't want to disrupt your sleep or anything. This could affect your sleep pattern. So maybe I best leave well enough alone. uh, yeah, maybe best to leave well enough alone. Oh, that's never stopped me. Who am I kidding? When has that ever stopped me? Okay, ready for it? Here we go. Oh, wait. Okay. Sorry. All right, one more time. And it's been a while, so we just have to.
That King Charles may never be. Prince Harry. Is he being selfish? Prince Harry. Prince Harry. Prince Harry. Is he being selfish? I ask this spheres are growing that King Charles may never. Prince Harry. Is he being selfish?
Thank you, sir, ma'am. Okay. You know what? I think it would just be interesting if we cast her as a love interest. But who would play her? Who would play her? Let me think about who would play her. Okay. Um, because let me see, LaWanda Page, she passed away some years ago. So um, yeah, I don't know who could play her. So again, Endgame, what a nightmare for the royal family. Inside the royal family and the monarchy's fight for survival. Omid Scobie wrote that book. And I do believe that isn't the publishing company, isn't it partially owned by Rupert Murdoch? Didn't we have to filter this book through Rupert Murdoch to get a chance to, sample it? but I do believe Rupert Murdoch had something to do with the publishing of the book. And then, of course, what was supposed to be that unfortunate translation era in, was it Germany? No, it was the Netherlands. It was all so convenient. I don't know how that happened, but it did happen, and I'm quite delighted because seeing the struggle that the left behind royals were going through at that time, it was like a tonic to me. I felt so much better, and I found myself available for dancing in the streets. So, um, yeah, yeah, okay. Now, let me see. Leg says, who will pay? Who will play her wig? Cousin It or Kate's wig? You know what? I tell you what. It would have to. We'd have to determine what constitutes a good hair day and a bad hair day, right? And then we'll let that decide who plays her hair. Yeah, we'll let that decide. Thank you so much for the super chat. And Marcia Foreman, thank you so much for 28 months. But again, I think you've had more than 28 months. I think you changed your payment method or something like that. But thank you so much. Let's see. Hi, Baron, that creepy African dog. Are you talking about the one from that movie Trilogy of Terror? I know which one you're speaking of. That's the one where that doll was chasing the actress Karen Black around the apartment. When I saw that movie years ago, I kept looking out the corner of my eye because I thought that thing was coming at me. Every shadow I saw out the corner of my eye was that doll. If you guys have not seen, it was I believe a made for TV movie. Maybe not. It was called The Trilogy of Terror. And well, anyway, it's one of the scariest movie scenes I've, well, scariest scene in a movie I've ever seen. When I tell you that that was frightening, the special effects were not great, but they got the job done. And I just remember the um I guess the terror, the panic of it all, because you just don't know where it is. That little thing. Oh, anyway, thanks for reminding me about that movie. I don't know if I could watch it anytime soon, but it was so good. It was so good. And then the ending. I don't want to spoil the ending, but hi, mother. Yes, we'd love to have you over. Yes, thank you so much. I'm going to make dinner. We're going to have you for dinner. Okay? Bye, mother. I mean, that whole ending of the movie was so creepy. It was so creepy. Anyway, great movie if you can find it. It's called Trilogy of Terror, and the actress, her name is Karen Black. She plays four different characters in this uh, movie. She plays twins for one of the stories, and then another story, I forgot what that one was about, and then the last story, that was when she really displayed her chops as an actress. Okay. Lex says, then somehow the racist bot, I'm sorry, the racists both got alleged cancer. Yes, yes, that was the other thing, is that the same two people that was mentioned in the book, the same two people, that is, if you accept that it could possibly have been the newly crowned king, and of course, the future queen consort, if you can accept that, then all shall be revealed. And I don't know, when I had a chance to see everything up close and what's different, what's alike, and I'm just like, yeah, that tracks with me all day long. Thank you, Legs, for the super chat. Okay. And look at there, August 1st, 2023. August 1st, 2023. So what is this? We've had 2 years of Endgame. Now, I didn't read it. I listened to the book on Audible, and Omid Scobie actually reads the book, and he has a pleasant voice, so that wasn't too difficult to go through. Okay, now just a little trip down memory lane. Palace crisis talks. Well, why, pray tell? Because we got to figure out how to explain 2 people that happen to have been mentioned in the book are going to be the same people that have cancer. Oh, I forgot. This was before we found out about it. Wink, wink. Okay. So, what does that say up in the corner? Mine has like a little something in front of it. But that's okay. I will find it here. Okay, it says King Charles prepares for crisis talks with Omid Scobie's race row. Palace officials will meet with William's aides after Dutch translation named 2 royal races, with all options, including legal action, on the table. Well, guess what? There has been no legal action, right? Right. The other thing I want you to take notice of, nobody wants to talk about it anymore, right? Right. And lastly, there was something else I wanted you to take notice of, and I quite forget now. William's aides. Remember, at that time, they seemed to all be singing from the same hymn book, right? But the conversation between the communication people from Montecito and the communication person hired away from the Daily Mail, was it, that works for Charles and Godzilla, all was present and accounted for except for the Kensington Palace crew. They were not invited to come to the club to discuss all things, well, Harry, Meghan, security, whatever. None of William's people were there to discuss it. And believe me, that was deliberate. So while they're making a big to-do about whether or not, I guess, whether everything would be handled responsibly or what have you, wherever that goes, 2024 was an incredibly bizarre year for the royal family. The only thing that in any way matches that was, I would say, the year that Diana died tragically and mysteriously in that tunnel in Paris. That was a very tough year for the firm. And then, of course, when the Sussexes had their interview and left and everything, that was a weird time for them. But one thing that we can't help but notice is that when those occasions happen, their, their courtiers, their spokespeople, spokesminister, whatever you call it, they all come pouring onto the televisions. They all are tweeting and writing articles because they want to make sure they tell the public what to think. Accept their words only. Accept their words only. That's the way it shapes up. Okay, so King Charles and Prince William locked in struggle over future of monarchy. The Telegraph reveals key claims in Omid Scobie's new book. Remember, Omid mentioned that. Omid mentioned that the 2 royal households are not getting along. And instead of it kind of just fading away with the book, it has become increasingly evident that there's a lot of trouble going on. a lot of trouble between those two households, and they seem like they're at a point where they're unable to get past whatever damage has been done. They're at a stalemate, I guess. Fun to watch, but I don't like it because you know that they um, have to try to find something to distract using the Sussexes, right? And I don't want that to happen either. So I don't know. Um, Sussex Teen Warrior says, Baron, the war of the Windsors is heating up even more. They are now briefing on each other's tempers. Yes, I saw that. I found a story about how William and Godzilla's daughter used to used to really go at it. Oh, you know what? Let me tell you, Christmas at Sandringham, I believe that that's true because it wasn't okay. They made a big to do about that 10-gallon head Tom Parker Bowles. They made a big deal about him going to Sandringham, something that never would have happened if Queen Elizabeth was alive. She wasn't going for that. And then also, what they did not say much about is that what is her daughter's name? Laura Lopez or something like that, something Lopez, that she was also going. Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopez, or whatever her daughter's name is, they were spending the night at Sandringham. And William probably wanted nothing to do with that. They usually have their sleepover, if I'm correct. There's a full house, if I'm correct, even though I believe that Admiral Hall is on the estate, but I was under the impression that they usually stayed over. But the other thing is, William, I believe at some point, was alternating a huckleberries, whatever berry they live in, Kate's family Christmas, and then on occasion his, grandmother's family Christmas. So I don't know what to think about that because it wouldn't be unprecedented for William to skip out, but I think it just had something to do with those other two. And I'm sure it was to spend the night, but maybe it was only to make a mess. I don't know. But yeah, I believe that there is a bit of bad blood between Camilla's daughter and William. I am certain of that. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, see if they're busy dealing with all that other stuff, maybe they won't have time to plot and scheme against Harry and Meghan. Let's hope that that's the case. Okay, United and Defiant, a royal charm offensive. Endgame was so brutal to that family that, hey, well, listen, Endgame called them out, and they were at an all-time popularity low. They were they were underwater. Now, I don't know where they are right now, but they were underwater, meaning that more than 50% either did not care for the monarchy and did not care if the monarchy did not exist. And that scared them because they're used to being like 56, 53%. I mean, after all, is Charlie Windsor. But to go under that magic number of 50, that was more than what some people could bear. Especially the royal family. They've never been in that, at least I don't think so. but their popularity is in the toilet. In the toilet. So, make that make sense? Okay, Leg says, does anyone know when the fallout happened with KP and Clarence House, Buckingham Palace? Maybe they always were always were and used to they always were and used to use the Sussexes to bond. Exactly. After the coronation, they were done. Yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and that was the approach that they used. Was to try to flood the airways and flood the headlines if by any chance the algorithm drives people to, let's say, a very truthful, um, I don't know, truthful article or someone on television like, oh, I guess a call in to Jeremy Vine. If something like that were to happen, and let's say you have more people telling the truth than lying and toting the talking points for the establishment, a stitch up establishment. I don't know. But yeah, they have always been at it. And William, I don't see William spend a lot of time with his father. I didn't see William spend a lot of time with the Queen. He spent more time with the Queen, I believe, than he did with his father. And I believe the years that William should have been going through some type of training or learning by following, in the footsteps of, I don't think he did any of that. I think after the Queen Mother died, and after William was old enough to kind of call his own shots, I don't think the Queen could ever really nail him down to instill him with anything. I don't know how that would have been possible. And contrary to what they want you to believe from the Crown, William embracing Charles in the garden of what is that place? Highgrove. I don't believe it. Thank you, Leg, for the super chat. I do not believe that William went to comfort his father in the garden of Highgrove. Not Harry, William. I don't believe it. Let me see here. Okay, that's not for me. Get your finger out my face. Get your finger out my face. Okay, Kate is trying to raise our future king, so it shouldn't be seen as her not working hard. He's avoiding using the word lazy. Richard Eden tells Palace Confidential after she was called a part-time royal by, guess who? Omid Scobie, and carried out just 128 engagements. She is a part-time royal. She is not a full-time anything, because she has a staff of nannies. Let's not forget that. So, what am I trying to say? We all know Richard Eden has been somewhat close to James Middleton. I don't know how often he would speak to anyone else in the family, but I'm assuming since James Middleton gave him a year's supply of dog biscuits or whatever it was, that they must talk routinely, just like the way Richard Eden took it upon himself to demand a title for the Middleton family for all of the hard work that they have done on behalf of the crown, right? Who told you that? James Middleton? Or was his dog talking this time? Either way, you don't just demand. You're either on the king's list or you're not. You're either on the household list or you're not. But you don't just make them give it away. It's not like a star on Hollywood. As a matter of fact, it's easier to get the it's easier to get one of those OBEs than to get your star on Hollywood, but I digress. Also, well, let me show you this. I love the way someone sent a photo of Endgame wedged between Spare, or actually Spare wedged between Endgame at some bookstore, and also a copy of The Queen. I don't know who wrote that one, but that was pretty festive when I saw it for the first time. All right, another group shot. I'm sharing all of these because I just want you to see how much, how much, um, yeah, I want you to see how much Omid Scobie was on their minds at the time. How everything they said or did or whatever, the way they're talking about you know who, about you know what right now, that's the way they were talking about this book and this, and that's the same way they were talking about oh gosh, what was the other one? Anyway, it was ooh, what was the one before that one? I'm sure it was a doozy, whatever it was. Oh well. Anyway, I cannot recall. But yeah, so Omid was quite popular when that book came out. From September until somebody had surgery in the hospital, they could not shake. They could not shake these what do you call it? These Omid Scobie blues. They could not shake the Omid Scobie blues. Oh man, Omid was everywhere. He got all kind of threats. Didn't he have to leave the country? Isn't that why he went off to LA? Is because they were harassing him. They were harassing his family. Oh my goodness. Omid took one for the team, you guys. I know there's no place ever that you all will believe in a Omid Scobie, and I hope he never lets me down. But I have to say he has been fantastic, highly invaluable to the cause. He has been fantastic, and he has the battle scars to prove it too. Let me see, Kensington, and oh, Kate did 13 engagements in 24. Once more. Wait a minute. She did only 13 engagements? How was that what was that Richard Eden said? Okay, Richard Eden is of the opinion that there was 128. That seems a lot for Kate. So let's assume that even if there was an air of truth to that, we all know that well that they some people use have to pay for their, and they use a fortune teller, right? So okay. Anyway, wants glamour not work. Thank you so much, Lake, for the super chat. But yeah, all of a sudden Kate has been bitten by this glamour bug where she wants longer hair, fluffier extensions, and of course she wants to make sure that the cuff of her pants or her trousers touch the ground. That's a weird request, but that's what she wants. So um cheers to her. Okay. Do I feel like I missed someone? Did I miss someone? Let me go and take a look. Oh, did I miss this one? I still want to know. Thank you. What is it, Hilda? I still want to know who hit William upside his head with a golf club. Um, I don't know, but the scar is still there, literally and figuratively. The scar is still there. That's why I am just like, you know what? Uh, until we know better, keep the Sussex kids away from over there because they could not even protect him, and he was the future king. He looked so pitiful riding in the back of that car, and his eyes were like half closed. And ugh, God, that was scary. You know, I mean, I'm not wishing anything bad on him, and you know, I feel sad for the golf club because they probably had to throw that out. You know, unless there's some other use for it. But anyway, um, poor golf club. It's like hitting the Rock of Gibraltar, isn't it? It's like hitting Plymouth Rock. It's like trying to whack Superman across the chest with it. It's just not going to work. It's going to bend, but that's it. Okay, again, thank you for your super chat. Okay, let me go. Oh, I'm already here, right? Did I go too far? Oh, all right. I think I went too far. Let me do this one first. Meticulously searched Meghan's royal protocol. Oh, yes, this nonsense. Okay, so Richard Eden has been recycling as much Meghan related stuff as possible. So this time, protocol breaches and was shocked by my findings. So Richard Eden decided that money is short. So let me go and um, dig into the actual price of, um, well, I mean, I'm not the price, but the multiple occasions when Meghan has had these uh, breaches of protocol, which, if I'm correct, that whole thing about protocol really does not belong to um, the masses, right? It's not something that should be in everyday life, even if you're working for the royal household, unless it has something to do with military. In a more traditional use of the word protocol, it had to do with uh, dignitaries and such. Yeah, I meant to say dignitaries. It has to do with that in the military, but not everyday things. Those are just kind of understood. You bow, you curtsy, you this, you that. Um, the Queen was not, Queen Elizabeth, she was not so um, anchored into the role that she was like, oh, there can never be a mistake in this. I don't think the Queen was actually like that. You're supposed to strive for excellence, but if it does not happen, oh well, oh well. And I think that's how the Queen was. The Queen did her best because she wanted everybody else to be, disciplined and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, um, anyway, so, um, but yeah, so Richard Eden has gone and looked through everything. I'm pretty sure it was the black nail varnish, the this curtsy and closing the car door, stuff that we've heard over and over again. And this weirdo is trying to get us going with that. It's a waste of time. It really is. So Trisha Day says, thank you, but I'd rather smooth my body parts out with Forgot about this one. I forgot about this. I saw that earlier. I'm so sorry. That kind of snuck up on me. I saw that earlier and then I didn't think about it anymore. But you know what she said she want to do or what she would rather do. That's what she means. Um, it's right there on the screen. Examine it yourself. Oh man. Yeah, that kind of snuck up on me. Mm, let me see. I think that Richard Eden was talking about the engagement in 2023. Um, oh, really? The engagement in 2023? And you know what? I did not actually read the article. I just thought it was him doing another. What engagement in 2023? I'm so curious about that. Okay, are you talking about no, it couldn't be the coronation because that was in 2023, right? All right, what engagement? I am so sorry. I'm at a disadvantage now. But yeah, help me out when you get a chance to. Let me see. I think Richard Eden was talking about the engagement in 2023. Uh, huh. Oh, that's intriguing. I want to know. Okay, I'll wait for you. Let me see. Okay. You know what is more infuriating about the Bench AI video? Oh, that's for someone else. Yeah. Oh, I got something else to show you. Speaking of copying. Okay, let me see here. Don't they realize that the whole protocol thing is what you make them seem out of touch? Protocol was used to try to control Meghan and independent U.S. citizens that marry in the family. Yeah. Yeah, they used it as a weapon against Meghan. Clearly, they weaponized the notion of protocol where Meghan was concerned. That became a weapon. Let me see. Oh, okay. All right. So, Lulu, Lulu, I wonder if that's the one that sings "To Sir with Love," Lulu. Lulu says Eden is slacking. Back in 2020, Cosmo had an article about 50 times she broke protocols, including crossing her legs, carrying a tote, no shoes in public, and wearing trousers. They failed to write articles on the other royals who break protocols must be cause Meghan is irrelevant. Apparently, apparently, Meghan is so irrelevant they won't stop talking about her. But yet there's Camilla going up the steps with no shoes. There's Kate sitting there with her legs crossed. What else do we see here? And I guess is Kate walking with a coffee cup or whatever. Oh yeah, they used to say that the queen hates um, women to wear those wedgie heels, but yet there's Camilla with the wedgies on. And let me see, what did they hold against Meghan here? I think Meghan went shoeless at the beach. Meghan wore the black nail polish. Um, when Meghan went to Ireland, she wore a pantsuit, trousers. And when she was out with the Queen, she did not wear a hat. And I do believe that that was an act of sabotage. And I'll tell you why. Because the way it was presented to Meghan, this is what I heard, I wasn't there to see it, was kind of like given as an option rather than mandatory. Because I'm sure that I don't know. I think it was just a matter of them convincing her that it was optional so that she wouldn't wear it, and only for the wind to kind of do what the wind was doing, and she kept getting hair in her face and everything. So I kind of think that was deliberate. I do believe that that was deliberate, kind of like a little setup, maybe. Yeah, that's what I think. Rosa Roberts, thank you so much for being here. Okay. Meghan is being criticized for doing the same things that Kate Middleton is praised for, and the royal expert says it wouldn't be happening if she were white. Now, unfortunately, I have not been able to find the magazine that comes from, because I would like to see the entire article. And look at the contradictions there. Glowing, relatable, contrived, breaking protocol. All right, next. Oh, what do you know? I had forgotten that always one rule for Meghan, another rule for others. Well, there's Kate, hands in pocket. There's Kate again, hands in pocket. Remember, your royals don't put their hands in their pockets. Huh, what do you know? Look who's feeling extra girly like she just had a hormone shot. Huh? Look who's chasing away the what's the male hormone? And you know, going to the posing like she's on Project Runway and everything, right? Look at her. Who's a pretty girl? Huh? I think that's you, Your Majesty. That's you, Your Maj. Look who's a pretty girl. Look at how she's sashay. She is doing some runway, honey. My goodness. Didn't know the Queen had it in her. Look at those big square block heels, those repurposed butcher block heels that she got on, giving her much needed stability. It took a long time before she had to walk with a stick. That's because those work shoes that she usually wear, they got those big chunky wooden heels. Not only is it good to stabilize you, but it also keeps the wind from knocking you. It keeps the wind from knocking you over. See what I mean? So very, very important to her. Yeah, the Queen is she's really feeling herself right there. And look at Charles. Charles has had his hand in his pocket for about the past 60 years, maybe longer than that. Yeah, he constantly has his hand in his pocket. Um, I wonder what that hand smells like, really. I don't think he switches it up. It's always in one, not the other. And yeah, I would like to see that. Well, I don't want to see his hands. I've seen enough of them in photos and stuff, but they're so puffy, right? Yeah, they're so puffy. Ugh. Okay. But he keeps that hand in one pocket. Every suit is worn because that one hand goes in a pocket. What is he reaching for? Try to be nice to her? I should be nicer to him just in case he comes out of pocket with something. I don't mean anything I said. None of it. All of it was parody. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Because I got soul and I'm super bad. So, Meghan is a grown woman. She put her hands in her pocket. Beatrice or Eugenie, I always forget which is which. She's even, trying. Okay, she trying. Okay. Well, the next thing we're going to cover is the press. What's left of it? As you can see there, the Daily Mail's troubles in the U.S. continues. In May, it lost a staggering 13% they lost 13% and 27% for the year. In June, it confirmed the loss and lost another 5%, yielding 33% readership for the last year. The fail is failing. Oh, I saw that. I couldn't wait to share it with you. The fail is failing. Now, they're always boasting that the fail, the Daily Mail, is the most widely read English language publication. But it's not enough. It is simply not enough. And their numbers are going down, 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 much to the dismay of the racially ambiguous Dr. Evil that owns the okay. Now take a look here. Gosh, I cannot see that. I guess I just put that there for effect. Top 50 news websites in the US. Okay, top 50 news websites. I'm going to go really fast. From number 1, New York Times, CNN, Fox News, MSN.com, Finance Yahoo, People Magazine, CNBC, USA Today, New York Post. Okay, that's 2 Murdochs. What else? AP News, Associated Press News, and newsgoogle.com, Newsweek, there's another Murdoch, and Daily Mail comes in at 14, number 14 on the list. Daily Mail is down at 14. And as much as they want everybody to believe that everybody reads Daily Mail, so let's, make them get subscriptions, it appears that that's just not the case. They're all the way down there. They're like not exactly the halfway point, but they're number 14, followed by the Wall Street Journal, NBC News, very interesting. Washington Post is 17. The Guardian is 19. Forbes is 20. Substack is 21. Reuters is 24. So you see what I mean? They're not even in the top 10. They're not even in the top 10. And they're still losing. It'd be different if there was a chance they would go up, but they're losing. This is the same media that gave a speech, allegedly, to one of Princess Diana's sons, probably, and had him go in front of the world and declare that she was paranoid. That she was paranoid and prone to outbursts and all the other stuff that he may or may not have said. But here's my point, though. Here's my point. This was my belief about William and that speech. The tabloids had a pretty long shadow cast upon them because we blame the tabloids for a lot of things, including Princess Diana. And so to seem more credible in their description of Diana, well, they, had him read that. And then that way, it doesn't seem like Diana died because there was some bounty, allegedly, a bounty placed upon her just to get photos. But they were willing to pay a high amount for whatever photos that they could get from Paris, right? And it just got very out of hand. But they offered to pay top dollar for those photos, which, if you ask me, is no longer just the paparazzi doing what they do, but they're on motorbikes and such. This has turned into a high-speed chase. Where were they chasing them to? What was the point of it? And then when they have that moment of clarity, they say, well, I needed to have that picture in case that was the last picture that he's ever taken in life. I want credit for taking the last picture. Could you imagine someone following you with that mentality? Could you imagine that? Yeah, that's too much. That is too much. I think that his speech absolves the tabloid media complex, and it shifts the blame to Monsieur Henri. It shifts the blame to Princess Diana because she was playing games with the press. I think all of that takes the blame away from the tabloids. And who better? I wonder if William realized that you could look at it like that. I'm not saying that that's ultimately the truth and nothing but the truth, but it just seems to me that that was an incredible coup to put that speech in his hands and go out there and blame his mother for not being available to the family, for having mental health issues, whatever point he was trying to make. But the people who likely wrote the speech are the ones who paid for the photos that, in all likelihood, caused the accident, allegedly. That's why that always bothers me. Every time I look at that picture, I'm like, do you know that you are literally waving your hand and removing all culpability for what happened to your mother in that tunnel and blaming it on a dead person? Blaming it on your mother's spontaneous paranoid outburst. That's how I see it. And I keep going back to it because it just, the whole speech didn't make any sense unless, he could just say, that was a hard time for my mother. We don't want to see that video again. But instead, he's framing his mother as paranoid. I don't care what context it is. You just said that your mama is paranoid. I got a problem with that. I always get to this part and I get stuck because I'm just like, the math ain't mathing. I hope I explained that clearly. Do you do you guys understand what I was saying? Why it bothers me? Please let me know. Because I feel like it takes all blame of what excuse me, let me drink some water. I believe it takes all the blame away from the tabloids who were willing to pay for those pictures. If we can just find a way to say that in all likelihood that the man who was dexterous and able to bend over with his head below his waistline and tie his shoe. I mean, he was like an origami project the way Monsieur Henri bent over and tied his shoe. But according to them, he was so intoxicated he couldn't see straight, right? That's what they said. That's the easy answer. And it's so nice and tidy and neat that no one else ever needs to query about what happened that night. I just don't buy it. Oh, let me see. Oh, Marie Fabian, good night. So glad they did the Oprah interview. Yes, it's all for the historical record. And I believe that's very necessary. There are no qualms about chasing down the Sussex children. Yeah. Yep, 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 yep. Yeah, Benjamin Padilla, that may very well have played into it, but whatever it was, whether it was that or something even more nefarious, um, if you think about what happened to the Sussexes in New York, it was a fever pitch. It was a competition, a game, and they were hunting prey. They did everything they could to be the ones to get that picture, right? Because I think just before that, there was a record amount that was paid for a photograph. And I forgot whose, it was, but of course it didn't seem so important at that time. But okay. Well, yeah, that's what I believe. I believe that he's done a terrible thing by reading a speech that he did not write himself, handed to him by the unseen hands. Right. There was nothing wrong with Princess Diana. Nothing at all. Oh, Daily Mail has become the Daily Fail. Now the racially ambiguous owner is going to have to try and get a second job, I suppose. He can be the Lord of the Groom. Do they still have that promotion or position? The woman of the groom or whatever. You you make sure that the royal hind section is you know spotless. Um, Never mind. Uh, Never mind. We won't worry about that. I know I couldn't be the one to do it. Okay. Now, UK has one of the lowest trust levels in the press among surveyed countries. And just to make it easy for you, the United States is way down there, right? See it? The United States is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think like 6 or 7 above the UK. But the UK is, for this 2022 survey, the UK is only above Egypt. That's it. Only above Egypt. That's what the UK is. 13%, I think it says 13%. 13% who say they have a great deal, quite a lot of confidence. 13%. That is embarrassing. 13%. Jeez Louise. Now, this is an old statistic. Did not even know that I had this until I looked around. So for this one, we have to go back to March of 2023. Print circulation for January has a treat. The fail is under 800,000 K for the first time in more than 100 years. Down from 812,000 to 797,000. The year on year is, oh gosh, that's weird. The year on year is down 12%, which is an increase from the 5 to 8% we have had since 2018. Okay. Oh, they also own the Metro. Well, so be it. Well, there you go. Down, 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 down. They are not doing well. And that's the way it ought to be. Okay. Trust in the written word. That's 2022. Again, all the way down at the bottom, United Kingdom. The United States, not much better. Well, I made it bigger and easier to see. Again, that is from 2022 during the throes of the global pandemic. Bon appetit. Next. You get back here with that. We decide what you say and what you think. And of course, that is the British media and someone who has broken free from the influence of the British tabloid media. That, of course, is Meghan. And then she's going to tell her own story. See there? She has a little binder that says, "My story." That's reassuring. I forgot where I got that from. And of course, this old chart that I defer to quite often, the socioeconomic background of journalists. And you can see that when it comes to the journalists, 84% of them, they come from the same higher socioeconomic background. If you look at the lower and middle socioeconomics, only 16%, for lack of a better word, came from, public housing or whatever you want to call it. And then take a look to the right of that. Editors. the people who decide what we will and will not keep in terms of writing a story. Let's see. 27%. Okay, it's a little higher. 27% middle ends. Lower and middle socioeconomic people become editors. And of course, the why. The why. When a narrow sector of society dominates our media landscape, it has an adverse effect on our daily democracy. On our democracy. Why I say daily, as well as our news values, which stories are told, how they are told, and what's deemed newsworthy. And that isn't. I saw a damaging effect. What is it? Not that isn't. I saw a damaging effect this had on my own country. So that is why so many bad things happen. So many quality of life things are not working out for people, but they don't have a voice because the people who have given them the voice, the media, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They have taken the right wing by storm. And so the other stories, they don't want to tell them. They don't want to talk about certain things. And it's unfortunate, but what can you do? I know. Go to social media. Prince William tells tech leaders do more to counter cyberbullying. Isn't that something? He's a bully. Now, that's an old article, but you'll see why it makes sense in just a moment. By the way, Daily Mail's Sun, they are sinking like a stone. Just give them a chance. Just give them a chance. They're doing everything they can to draw in people to read that crap, but it's still trending downward. This person right here, that's John, is it Lonnie, whatever his name is. He's a super fan that is of the royal family. And this poor guy, he is reading The Sun. And when they interviewed him, I remember when they put the camera in his face, he said, well, they have to tell the Queen. You can't just leave and not tell the Queen. Now, as far as I know, he didn't say anything terrible about the Sussexes, but there's no excuse for not giving your full support to the royal family. That's how he lives his life. He doesn't seem to have a malicious bone in his body. Not that I could tell the limited time I spent with him, but he believes in the royal family. And he's going to fight to defend, that world if he has the opportunity to do it. He will fight for it. And so everything that's in the Sun, which is the paper that he's holding, he take it as the gospel, which is kind of sad because, it's like, I don't know, is that the real you? Is this like some kind of hobby that's gotten out of, I don't know. I'm just throwing some stuff out there. But yeah, he believes everything in the paper. And there's a lot of people like him. And that's why these articles are so dangerous, because they literally are telling people what to think. And so the Sun was telling, I guess anyone who would listen that they're bad people. They didn't tell the Queen. They didn't even tell, remember the headline? They didn't even tell the Queen. And this guy is just soaking it up like a sponge. Very sad. The stuff they get away with. Speaking of the stuff they get away with, remember I told you I had a little copycat situation for you? Some of you all may have seen this, some maybe not. But that vision of Meghan walking to a television interview was so delicious, oozing of sophistication. And, you know, um, they very much could not allow that to go unanswered. So they set up the scenario where they would have someone follow Kate as though she was who? Meghan. How pitiful is that? How pitiful is that? Don't you, is there any you left? Are you just like a bunch of springs and coils and a hard drive and I guess, yeah. What's left of that cyborg that we call Kate Middleton? Is she a robot? Is she half human, part human? Is she a Stepford wife? What's left of her? Not much. This outfit highlights her excessive slenderness too much. It needs more volume and not too essential. Oh, wait, it needs more volume and not too essential lines. I'm not, oh, okay. I think that's translated. Okay, maybe that's why it looks weird. These are not squatties, you guys. One of the squatties actually noticed the way that some of the monarchists, the loyals to the royals, they noticed how much trouble they were having trying to understand this look, trying to critique this look without being too harsh. Someone else says, very skinny, hair too long. Well, I have been saying that for a long time. I know that there are older women nowadays that wear their hair down, whereas they would not have done that years ago. They would have something, more like the Golden Girls, for lack of a better word. That was how they, would have something voluminous but shorter. But Kate's hair gets bigger by the year and bigger and bigger. Now, the way she's standing, you really can't see much of it, but yeah, I I think it's too much, way too much. But that's just me. Some people might look and say there's never too much, but I think it's too much. Okay, Simpkins says Kate seems like a lovely person, but way too thin. Maybe because if her illness, not a great look. And then someone else says, way too skinny, not good. So again, these are not squatties, but I'm just sharing with you what I found. Someone took these and posted them on their thing. So I'm just sharing them with you in their entirety. So it says right there, so beautiful, but hair color dull. Dark hair suits her much better. That was the other thing I said. That hair color is awful. It's too distracting. Very skinny. The hair doesn't do her best. Okay. Uh, Not a good look. Looks like her pants are about to fall. Not a good look. It looked like her pants are about to fall. Way too skinny. Okay. And Chick Toes says, beautiful lady, but hair color really washes her out. These are not squatties. Next, I agree. I love her deep brown hair. This lighter hair ages her. Is that what's doing it? Someone else. I agree again. I love Catherine, but it's time for a style overhaul. Time for a style overhaul. The ultra long hair is starting to age her. She looks good with a deeper, richer color and 8 inches hacked off. Mm-hmm. Well, that's easy. You just unplug those. I think Kate has been suffering from thinning hair for a while. You know that? I think Kate has been suffering from thinning hair for quite some time, and nobody's talking about it. But her hair is awfully thin. And if she's wearing all of those extensions, that cannot be good for her scalp. That cannot be good. All that weight and tugging and pulling. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about these things, but that does not seem like a good idea. Oh, well. So, what do we have next? Dreadful clothes, and her hair needs 4 inches off, is too skinny, but do love Kate, just not this look. I mean, these people are being very honest. They're being very, very honest. Hmm. Did I miss one? Okay. One more. Overall, I'm not a fan of this look primarily because the trousers are too big. No, are too long. Although I love the color, my bigger concern is that the princess seems very frail right now. She looked like that in 2023. I really adore Princess of Wales. However, I think this is a bad look for her. Too thin, pants too long, hair too long, and too light. Um, Elaine says, so beautiful, but hair color dull. Dark hair suits her much better. And the last one, very skinny. So those are the honest observations of her people. And I like that they didn't mention Meghan. Let me see. Anna Boyd says, oh, it's a super sticker. Thank you so much, Anna Boyd, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex.
Ask this Spheres are growing that King Charles may never reunite Prince Harry. Is he being selfish? I ask this Spheres are growing that King Charles may... Prince Harry. Is he being selfish?
uh, and if it's not that, then there's old Mushmouth. Give Grandma a kiss. Get over here, Sonny. Give Grandma a kiss. Give Granny a kiss. Oh well. Ugh. Yuck. Okay, you guys. Now, as I said earlier, we need to decompress from all of the stuff that happened earlier this week, right? We need to decompress. And what better way to do that than looking at some cat photos? Now, this is actually a video, but I did a screenshot. Look at how much attention they have to watch Tom and Jerry. They are loving Tom and Jerry. Isn't that sweet? Oh, I just love it. So well behaved. Oh, that is adorable. So cute, right? All cozied up and watching an action cartoon. Deep breaths, everyone. We're decompressing from what has been a troubling week. Oh, I feel so much better already. Don't you feel better? I feel better. Or how about this one? The cat on the left side is watching the cats. There's like a bunch of cats running back and forth on the screen. And after a while, you could not convince her that those cats was right there. And she took a big leap. And what you see is her taking a leap and smacking into that TV screen. You see that blur of the cat in front of her? She was hoping that she could just kind of, you know, join the other cats, but it wasn't meant to be. I tell you, I feel so much better. And then lastly, there is a cat that has a bell. That is Pavlov's cat. And she honestly, again, that was a video, she honestly rings that bell. It's almost as though I very lovely. Well, I think we've all managed to decompress from the week that we were having. I feel so much better now. I just don't know why I'm whispering. Oh, yeah. We'll have to go to Menopausal Moonshine Minnie's Tavern. Oh, they watched the cartoon. Yeah, I think that is adorable. Those cats are just so drawn into Tom and Jerry. Every little thing, everything. They're trying to figure it out. Okay. And that is our decompression for now. Let me see. What is that? Royal commentator said, now for me, we hear a lot more now than more and more allegations, and that's all that you can say about William are coming out. What? Anyway, he added, it's coming out that his staff finds him at times very aggressive. No kidding. And I know one of his many supporters for his housing charity. And this guy is a volunteer. And he was telling me that William is constantly on him to on him all day, all night, saying, "How much money have we made? How much money have we made?" In addition to being aggressive, Pelham Turner says William's temperament has changed, that in his 20s and 30s, he was easygoing. But now that he is in his 40s and his eye is on the throne, he is much more formal, insisting people address him as Sir versus using his first name. Now, wasn't it just a couple years ago when Harry and Meghan said, "Just call me Harry, just call me Meghan"? They made it a point to let the press know that William and Kate wanted to be referred to as, um, you know, Will and Kate. I remember them saying that. And now something has changed. Now something has changed. He feels like he's too important for people to call him Will, William, Wilma. He's too important for that. Okay. Same thing here. William insists he's addressed in one way and one way only, sir. Um, he's evolving, and rightly so. If he's going to be king, then people should not be calling him by his first name. That little thing that he was doing to identify with his brother, he is willing to give that up so that he seems more authoritative or whatever. Fine. Who cares? Netflix. Netflix. Wherefore art thou, Netflix? Well, more good news for Netflix. We found out that Netflix was doing extremely well when it comes to where the hell is it? Oh, there it is right there. So Netflix rakes in record UK profits as cost conscious Brits choose adverts. That's right. A rise in Brits choosing Netflix advertising tier helps streamer giant rake in profits as the UK revenue jumps toward the 2 billion mark and has been. Wait a minute. I thought people in the UK were getting rid of Netflix. I thought they were getting rid of Netflix. Where's all those people that said, "I'm going to cancel it and I'm going to tell everybody I know to cancel Netflix"? What happened to those people? How is Netflix growing? And The Crown isn't even on. I mean, isn't, everybody who wanted to see it has seen it. So um, you can't charge that to you know, the TV show because, well, I mean, the TV show is not a thing right now. So, yeah, okay. I thought people were getting rid of it. They didn't want Netflix because it's associated with Harry and Meghan. Lex says all Wank has is their title and no merit. Fact. Thank you, Lex. And that's true. They don't have any discernible talent to lean on. They have accidents of birth only. They have not cultivated anything. It almost seems like as long as they show up in the right style of dress or whatever, then no one should say anything to them. Yep. I think they call that playing your cards very close to your vest. So that's what happened. Netflix is making a lot of money from people that are choosing to watch commercials as opposed to not using Netflix at all. So that's it. That's the long and the short of it. And let me see here. Oh, and this right here, I find it odd when it comes to Meghan, people lose all sense of logic. It is customary for the spouse to support their husband. A simple search will educate you. Now, now take a back seat. Oh yeah, now take a back seat. A lot of people are deliberately ignoring the fact that it is customary, especially for members of the royal family, especially for them, that their wives will come up to the stage, present a trophy or whatever. That is very accurate, right? And it's logical. It's accurate, it's logical, and it should not have been challenged in the first place, unless you're Sophie and you're on some, you know, unless you're after something, right? There's just really no need to question it. Okay. And look at there. Now, if I was William, I would do as I'm told. Do you see the size of them arms? Look at them arms. You know, that's how they say it down south. They don't say arms, they say, well, take a look at them arms. Now, if somebody grabbed me with some arms like, look at the size of those arms. Good Lord. Huge. Oh, well, I think they got the lesson. Of course, there was one little thing that Kate did that was a bit different from most people um, at a polo match. Do you guys remember what that was? That one little thing that's very different for her. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, that's a little different from most people's experience. Most people can just, reach out and um, caress or touch or hug their partner. But for Kate, it seemed to be more than an ocean, huh? For Kate, it seemed to be more than an ocean. Oh, well. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. I like it better with the sound. I like it better with the sound. Okay, sound. Oh, well, I like that. That's fun. Ouch is right. Ouch. Congratulations to Victoria. Is it Mbuku becomes the youngest Canadian woman in the Open era to reach the final of uh, of the Canada Open. Anyway, congratulations and bravely born, I might add. Congratulations. I mean, I love that look on her face when she realizes. See there? Wait, where is it? The other way. Look at there. Look at there. Look at that beautiful smile. Yeah, love that. Love, love, love that. Very special moment. Okay. Let me see. What else do I have? I think I'll leave it for tonight. Yes, I think I will. It's been 2 hours. Yeah, I'll share some more stuff tomorrow. I got a couple of other things, but I'll share those tomorrow. There's nothing urgent. So I just hope I don't forget. Uh there's always that possibility. Or what am I saying tomorrow? I should say later today. But anyway, love you guys. It has been a pleasure as per usual. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this a very safe space. This has not been a Mark Goodson or Bill Totson production. And of course, no animals were aimed throughout the. Okay. All righty. All right. Let me take this away. Put the thumbnail back up top. Oh, I could leave that. But I love the thumbnail so much. This is like another one of my favorite thumbnails. Love that one. He's back. He's back. Okay. No animals. Yeah, no animals were maimed or injured or anything like that. We don't do that with animals. Even if they come from Kensington Palace, we don't do that. We show mercy to even animals that have escaped Kensington Palace. Okay. Oh, thank you, cookies and cream. All right, cheers. Oh, I haven't done Ginger Avenger in a while. Let me do Ginger Avenger. I will do the Ginger Avenger. Okay. I'm going to do Ginger Avenger. Wait, if I do that, what happens? Oh, okay. Oh, let me find Ginger Avenger. Okay, all set. All set. Oh, just this one time. You know me. I'll be up all night next time. Okay. Love you guys. Good night. God bless. Have a safe weekend.